got a big problem at West Ham, and I've to state the bleeding obvious. Why not? When that game was going on, the cameras kept on cutting to David Sullivan in the director's box. He was up there with his missus, watching the game. I doubt anyone at that point is going to be pulling a cheerful face or anything like that. But I looked at him and I thought, you ain't got a clue what's going on, mate. You do not know. And the fact of the matter is, he's not equipped to deal with what is going on. I'm not even entirely sure that he recognises quite how out of his depth Graham Potter is. It's all his fault. Or whatever. Graham Potter's Karren Brady's fault and Lopetegui was his fault. I don't care. It's their fault. It's their fault. We are so far behind the curve in terms of trends. It's unbelievable. You used to hear this, and it used to get said a lot, that people either believe that David Sullivan leaks stuff, or you don't believe it. If you do believe that David Sullivan leaks stuff, then you will also know that the thing he said a lot before, he didn't rate Graham Potter. And if he didn't rate Graham Potter, and I believe that to be so, and in fact I've been told it to be so by people that I know had been told it by him, then we also know that Graham Potter is friends with Karren Brady and is best mates with Paul Pesky-Solido. You can only assume that he got railroaded into it by Karren Brady. But why did he allow himself to be influenced like that? But let's not let David Sullivan get off on this one at all, because he appointed Julen Lopetegui. There is no way that West Ham could afford back-to-back crap managers. That's exactly what's happened. Exactly what's happened. There is a level of incompetence in the people choosing to do anything. We'll get onto the transfer window and the choosing the players in a second. They can't even hire a manager. How can you be a successful football club owner if you can't hire a manager? And people are going to say, David Moyes, wait here, he sacked David Moyes. He had no faith in David Moyes. He got rid of him. And when he got Pellegrini, which nobody asked for, and then he got rid of Pellegrini, the first thing he tried to do was he actually went to try and get Rafa Benitez again, who was so far past it, it's unbelievable. He'd not done anything in football for ages. This is the thing, they're behind the curve. So in the end, he went back to David Moyes and said, actually, because we were in relegation, do not fool yourself for a moment that David Sullivan thought, David Moyes is the best man for the job, I'm going to get him back and we're going to have European glory. Forget it. It was what happened, the success under David Moyes happened in spite of what the board did, not because of it. They got very lucky. They were under an awful lot of pressure, and actually it worked out really, really nicely because, well, firstly, there was a lot of anger towards the board, a lot of anger. People were getting ready to mobilise against them again. COVID happened, and then everyone got locked up, right? And then what we had football behind closed doors, and actually David Moyes was really good at that. One of the very best. He thrived through COVID. And then it sort of all got forgotten a little bit. We did all right. And then there wasn't any pressure. There was no scrutiny on whether David Sullivan and Karren Brady could hire and appoint a top coach or a manager. The fact of the matter is they couldn't. The worst thing that plays into all this is, well, not the worst thing. Everything's the worst thing. It's all terrible, right? But it's when you factor in that actually there was an attempt to modernise, there was an attempt to get Tim Stein. And I know you're probably sick of me saying this. I don't mind getting rid of somebody. That's absolutely fine. If you think Tim Steino's not the guy for the job, but you don't jettison the position altogether. You don't have a restaurant and then think your chef is not good at cooking and then sack the chef and then get rid of... We don't need a chef at all. The waiter can step up and do it. No, you hire, and if your chef's not working out, you hire another chef. We should have done this. And we have never, ever needed a director of football more than we do right now. Right now, right at this moment. Because somebody's going to need to say to these people, tell them who to appoint. I know that people are going to mention Nuno Espirito Santo. At the point I record this, if you regular watch the channel, you know I'm away at the moment. Well, there you go. I'm away at Pimfest, not Pimpfest. I'm away at Pimfest. I've not really been following the football. I sat down, watched that game. I don't know what's going on with Santo. I've heard a little bit. Gio mentioned it briefly in the build-up show. I don't know if he's kissed and made up with a fella at Nottingham Forest or whatever. I don't know. But so I just want to leave him out of the conversation for now because I'm just not well briefed enough to talk about it with any authority. What I want to say is, even if we're in that position, I don't... have any confidence that our ownership are going to be able to go and pick the right manager. That's why we need a director of football. You also need a director of football. So how are you going to deal with the buying and selling of players now? Because if you've watched last night's video, Potter needs to go. Potter needs to go. I probably should have mentioned it at the start of this video. I did my Potter video last night, right? Potter needs to go. He's just not up to the job. I explained why in the previous video. I'm not going to repeat myself on that. This is why you have a director of football. So your next manager that comes in suits the players, because the players have been picked by the director of football. We are screwed. We are screwed. We actually need a rescue job. We need a rescue manager here. We really, really do. I'll tell you what, so whoever walks in is going to think, shit, you've got no centre forwards. And you haven't got a young, sharp centre forward. That's a real issue. The midfield, look, we know about it. I've done so many videos about the midfield. I don't want to talk about the midfield. Tell you what I do want to do. I don't like. I'll be honest. I don't like doing this in the middle of a ranty video. But I've got to do my sponsorship stuff. And to be fair, without that sponsorship stuff, I probably wouldn't be able to watch the news, watch the game today. So what I want to do is point in the direction of today's sponsor, which is Surfshark. Surfshark are a VPN. What's a VPN? Well, it's a way, basically, of encrypting everything that you do on your computer or your mobile phone or anything else for that matter. We've got a really good discount for you at Hammers Chat. We've got the first 4 months free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Put it on your phone and it's going to basically encrypt all your data so you can't get all your data nicked, and your data is your passwords, your bloody PIN code, anything you do, your banking app. That's really, really important stuff, right? But what it can also do is when you use it on your computer or use it anywhere like that, you can change your geolocation, so it's going to allow you to access certain content that maybe you wouldn't ordinarily be able to access. Absolutely brilliant. Links in the description below. You use that, use the promo code HammersChat, all one word, or just go to surfshark.com/HammersChat. It'll take you to it. You get your discount, get your 4 months free. We are in these are desperate times. Desperate times. Chelsea was singing, "Can we play you every week?" Oh, but everyone must want to play us every week at the moment. They must be licking their lips, whoever's playing us. Well, we've got Wolves next, actually. Wolves are probably looking at us as a buy. That's probably what they're doing. Life is short, right? And I'm just looking at this now and thinking, I know what's going to happen. If we haven't got a new manager appointed, then we're going to throw this. We can't concentrate on the cup. That's what it'll be. Can't concentrate on the Carabao Cup because the league's like it is. Hate it. I absolutely hate it. I cannot stand the way this club is being run. They are incompetent. The level of incompetence is horrendous. It's absolutely horrific. And there's just the infrastructure is not there. I'm fuming with what they've done. Fuming with what they've done with Potter and McCauley. And I've kept quiet on it for a long time, all over the summer. I just whacked my hand in. All over the summer, I kept quiet on it because, well, to be fair, they deserved a chance to do it. And you go and hire a data analyst and pay £1 million in compensation for Chelsea for a data analyst and ask him to run recruitment. He can't do it. He can't do it. It's and he's been given a shit budget as well by the chairman, clearly. And then you go and hire a head coach and appoint him as manager. So he's got all these extra responsibilities. I don't even think he can do the coaching stuff. Never mind all the other stuff. He's got to be this big leader of... I know people are laughing. There have been non-West Ham fans that are laughing at this. I think, oh yeah, big club. I think the club's too big for him. I do. I think the club's too big for Potter. Where was the foresight in seeing this? This stadium that we're in, I don't think it ever entered their heads. They only ever saw us in their mind's eye as being successful. There are no I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't think of any. Think of any shit teams that play in a 60,000-seater stadium. No jokes, right? I'm not talking about a joke. I mean, like teams like relegation-threatened teams, stuff like that. This was never, ever meant to happen. I just don't think it ever factored into anything that they did. That we have been run so badly. We have hemorrhaged money. And now, if it is true we don't have any money, and it may well be, the accounts seem to suggest that, well, you can't just keep using an excuse, oh, it's because we spent before, oh, it's Tim's fault. We were never meant to be in this position. Never. I hate hearing Karren Brady talk about PSR. That's your job. Your job. You're the business person. You're the person on The Apprentice, giving it to Billy Big What's-It, stood next to Alan Sugar. You have put yourself up there. You literally have put yourself up there, all this businesswoman of the year and all that. It's not, if we haven't got any money, you can't outsource the blame. That's your fault. It's your fault. We were never meant to be in a world-class stadium, world-class team, all that stuff. The 10-point plan, where is it now? It's terrible. What they have done is terrible. They need to fix this, and they need to fix it now. And I know people will be saying, you know, they should go, and they should go, and I want them to go. And if someone knows a way where we could make someone buy the club off them, tell me. I'll tell you what, I'm all over it. Honestly, I'm all over it. I'll lead the dance. I'll make a song, whatever. I will lead the dance on that stuff. I really, really will. But at the moment, I cannot see them shifting. They will not shift. They will not shift. They need to appoint someone. Kretinsky needs to appoint someone. Someone needs to do something to get some form of control. Well, it's not a runaway. I was going to say a runaway train. At least a runaway train's going on the tracks. You know where it's going. Honestly, it's like someone's asleep at the wheel. This is what it's like at West Ham. Someone is asleep at the wheel. And I just don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know. Atrocious governance of the club. It really is. They need to show some leadership, and they need to show it now. They need to show some decisive thinking, and actually, they need to be able to show some delegation. They need to get someone in now, because the thought of that lot, sitting around the table, sitting around a boardroom, trying to decide what to do next, I don't want to know. Do you know why? Because look what they did last time. Look what they did last time. I think the Sullivans sat round and picked up Lopetegui, did it with Will Salthouse, all sat, you know. Look what happened. Look how crap he was. Then afterwards, almost like Karren Brady. Oh, it's my turn. I've got someone. You crap. They can't do it. They cannot do the job. They just can't do it. On every metric of running a football club. Maybe sometimes the team's not run too well, but the business is running well. None of it. It's all crap. It's all crap. Anyway, I'm going to go now. See you later.